I finished listening to Lilac by Reid, and as you may remember, I started it, but I wasn't sure about whether it was going to be for me and whether I was going to be able to finish it or not. So I did finish it. There were elements of the book that I really enjoyed, and there were elements of the book that I struggled with. I felt the book was much too long, and at times dragged because of how long it was and kind of getting to the point. If you want a book that is heavier on the spice, especially including multiple people and body parts touching and some fun stuff and some DP and some 2-in-1 action, if you get my drift. I think there's, is it DVP where there's 2-in-1? I'm not sure, but if that's what your main focus is in a book, then I think you'll enjoy this. There are some very fun times being had. I just felt like so she has this thing, there's a word but I can't remember what it is right now, where she senses everything through like her senses. So she senses her emotions through her senses, so different tastes, different smells, things like that. But we don't find out till a good portion of the book is over, and to me the explanation comes much too late. Like, I was like, what the hell? Why does her mouth taste like cherry? She's just woke up first thing in the morning. She hasn't eaten anything. Like, what? And I think had that been introduced sooner, it would have made more sense, rather than just making listeners feel, or readers, that it's just a thing that the authors put in as like a descriptor, which I think can throw readers off. Like, if they knew, oh, this is a thing, then it would make sense for them. So there are 3 guys, and I don't know, I struggled with the aspects of the way they treat her in the beginning. I felt like with everything, no matter what part of the story it was, she just caved so easily, and everything was a manipulation from the get-go with them. And even when it comes to them wanting her to be in a relationship with them, it's not, let's sit down, let's explain exactly what we want and why we want it for it to make sense. No, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have sexy time, and even though she's had enough, we're gonna keep going till we get the answer that we want. And I just have a hard time with that. And there was a few elements where I guess it would be considered dubious consent, because it's definitely not an enthusiastic yes that is given. Even when we're in her point of view, she's like, I should say no, but I'm not saying no. You're also not saying yes, you know? And so I struggled with that kind of element, especially when it came to it coming from a character that would steadfast in, if anybody's hurt you, I will kill them. No woman should be forced, and yada yada yada. And it's like, you didn't exactly seek a consent though when it came to your turn. So I struggled with that element of it. I think it was written well, and like I said, there were elements that were enjoyable, but there seemed to be threads of stories that didn't really fully get resolved. And the last 10%, something happens with somebody. And it kind of comes out of left field. Like, it's like, what? She hasn't been a part of this story at all, other than people talking about her. And she's just gonna come in, and if I can't have you, no. Like, it didn't feel connected to the story and kind of felt rushed. But yeah, performance-wise, so we have Jillian, Macie, Jason Clarke, Jeff Harding, and Teddy Hamilton. I think they were all fantastic. For Jillian, I don't know, it could be an American thing, but the way she pronounced Lilac was Lilac, and I was like, which for me was just one of those like Grady things. And but like I said, that could be a country difference. There was a couple of times where I did struggle a little bit with the knowing which male character it was, but she had her character plus the 3 guys plus the side characters. Like, there's only so much you can do. So I would definitely listen to her again. As for Jason, Jeff, and Teddy, I thought they were great. I thought for each character that they were made sense. I do think maybe this book would have been more conducive to a duet, because this is a dual narration, just with how many characters there were and trying to keep them all straight and knowing what they all sounded like. But overall, it was an okay book for me. It isn't one that I'm going to shout from the rooftops that everybody should read, but it's also not one that I'm going to tell people to stay away from. I do think it's very subjective of what you want from the story. So yeah. See what you think. Like, have you done this book? Was it a hit for you or not? I know looking at other reviews, it's been very subjective and middle grounds. And isn't that what's awesome about a book? How it can be polarizing and have different thoughts from different people.